Again, we have to remind you that Prince of Wales is visiting Ghana, and where you can get all the latest updates on his schedules and the events that he will be participating in is right here on JoyNews. But please remember that we'll bring you all the sights and sound as far as this visit is. Well, one person who is making all this possible is also Mama Vio Sabwaje.
I think I'm making the visit possible.
I'm told you are the one going to receive. And Joseph, how are you?
I'm fine with that. Nice.
Adjoya, thank you.
Thank you.
It was made by Alice Couture, and that young lady is fantastic. She is in Tema Community 153. Look,
it's like you were waiting for someone to say where you're wearing.
No, we fixed it. It was,
so you
this one
was arranged there.
Yes, just an arrangement. The TV should be arrangement. It was not impromptu at all. So we know what we are doing.
Okay.
So can I go over? Alice
I
Couture.
thought you did that already. Like
I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm rocking wooden.
Yeah, mine too is wooden.
This is a wooden fabric. And the design, Ajwa Yeboah Clothing. Check her out. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. Ajwa Yeboah Clothing. And you can get all the details and her designs as well. Call her up. Let her make a dress for you. Thanks to Woodin for the fabric. Go to any Woodin store and select a fabric of your choice. They have already made shirts also there. So, you know, enjoy it as you go shopping at Woodin. Let's do the newspapers. We've got several of them in the studio. We'll do front and back. We'll touch base with our website, myjoyonline.com, and we will do some international news as well. I've got very special birthday dedications. One is to Serena Golda Comey, and Serena is 10 years today. She's an incredible young lady, and she has an amazing mother. She's 10 years today. Happy birthday to you, Serena Golda Comey. Hopefully she's watching because she's on midterms. Happy birthday to you, darling. And also to Stella Kumbe, who is one of our makeup artists here. Another very incredible young lady. Happy birthday to you, Stella. And if it's your birthday, enjoy your birthday today. You're special. The 2nd of November.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're an assistant immigration officer at the...
it's not her birthday, is it?
Misiga border.
It's not her birthday, is it?
Floran. Floran Binlo. Combat. Good morning to you.
All right, let's do the newspapers. Akable will do the daily guide.
It's not her birthday.
Okay, so the front page of the daily guide, there's a photograph of Nielante van der Poel. He's the former Sports, Youth and Sports Minister. It says stadium contract scandal hits NDC, 1.6 million cedis missing. And 6 ministers approved. Also on the front page, education is our best bet. It's according to President Akufo-Addo. And government rubbishes NDC's corruption tag against president. Also on the front page of the daily guide this morning. We can do the Ghanaian Times if that is ready before Mama comes in with...
No, go ahead. Let's do the Ghanaian Times.
Yes, the Ghanaian Times. The front page has the story about Kwesi Nyantakyi. It says, CID completes investigation on Kwesi Nyantakyi, AG to receive docket. And AGI raises red flag over tax stamp. HIV infection rate shoots up. It's also on page 16 of the Ghanaian Times. And education must mold character. It's according to President Akufo-Addo. The back page of the Ghanaian Times says farmers urge government to fast-track seed policy, and the story about the AGI raising red flag over the tax stamp also on the back page. The last one for me will be that of the Weekend Today newspaper. That has a story about a court banning a chief 11 others for selling lands, and cute girls still show at Fashion Week. You can find very nice photographs in the Weekend Today. Chaos at Budumbram. I'm not sure of why that reaction.
You said cute girls, and then you said check out.
Yeah, I've flipped through, and the pictures are nice. I'm only reporting what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you know, usually you don't flip through pictures. I thought I knew you, but this is another side I'm discovering.
Okay, you can take a look at it. I mean, yeah. But it's in the Weekend Today. That will be all.
All right, let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the graphic. Prince Charles, Camilla arrived today. We have a conversation today on various issues, our relationship with Britain, the visit, what it should mean and represent to us, what we stand to gain or benefits. A lot more conversation on the Prince's visit, but Camilla is coming along as well. Avoid KNUST crisis. University of Ghana VC tells lecturers. Parliament approves upon Nkrumah others. Political vigilantism. Police can't act. Laws on appointments need reforms. Let's say a prayer for this man, ACP Dr Agordzor. Hopefully he still maintains the position and he's still where he is after but speaking the truth, essentially.
He was a director of operations, I think some time back. I remember we used to work, because of what I do, we work with him closely.
But you know this country very well?
Yeah, I know.
When you speak the truth, your silence in ways that...
these academicians
that
and
is
all that, so.
Unimaginable.
He's only speaking the truth. I don't think it's something we have to victimize people.
Yeah, but that's what we do. That's why I say let's say a prayer for him. Back page of the Daily Graphic. Cosmos invests $500,000 in agribusiness challenge. This is what sent us to Marriott Hotel yesterday. Incredible initiative by Cosmos Energy. It's seen many young people come through with businesses and also served as solution. So it's a platform for creating a solution to agricultural challenges. It encourages young people to get into agriculture, which is really cool. Okay, so another story there on the back page. Work progresses on road projects in Eastern region. Let's see, center spread. His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, first visit to Ghana in 1977. So excerpts of the royal visit, interview with Ambassador Agri Olins. The graphic is going back. Oh, there you have it. It's going back and bringing us some pictures. So the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall hosted a reception ahead of their visit to West Africa. So pictures of that and the earlier 1977. Yeah, this is so it. This is history right here.
When you have archive, you know that you can do a lot with your archive.
So let me
hope that all media houses keep archive.
So let me do something. The graphic won't pay me for this, but today's graphic is for keeps. Make sure you buy one and keep it.
I think I
will.
I will. Yeah. Because this man is potentially the next king of England.
Potentially he is.
Yeah.
Roland.
Well, he is the next king of England. So sometimes but let's go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper. We have on the front page, Kweku Bako advises NDC, be serious. Stop the infantile nonsense, crude and cheap politics. The front page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. I'm not the one saying Kweku Bako is on the front page. We have a picture there of him. And you go up, you say, we need independence to control political vigilantism. Dr. Agordzor. Right. Occupying. Good morning to you, Dr. Agordzor. I know that I've known you, you're a diligent, hard-working police officer, so you're just doing your work. 3 pages of review of English Premier League is all there. English Premiership. Charlie, the matches are coming on live from tomorrow. And then we have the Daily Statesman newspaper. Front page of the Statesman says, Parliament approves upon Nkrumah, 5 other ministers. And we also have business leaders propose 10% levy on tithes. I agree. Well, Kojo is with his Deuteronomy chapter 22.
We have to bring this conversation
when Kojo comes back on Monday, this conversation, I'm keeping this this edition of the Daily Statesman. We're discussing it. Business leaders propose 10% levy on tithes. KPMG.
No, he doesn't. He has, and he has the.
He doesn't support the Bible, but I'm sure that when they say they are going to.
No, he supports. Let's not quote him wrongly. He just says that the way we use it is not what the Bible says.
He just has a problem with the way we tithe and the use.
He doesn't have a problem.
Patience, could you be back on Monday?
Yeah, he doesn't have he supported his position with Bible verses, or you didn't see?
He has a difficulty with the way they are exacting the tithing.
No, Master. He says, you know, you have to enjoy it yourself. You don't go and give it to the church.
So that's the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have state triggered Nyantechi's FIFA ban. A picture there of Kwesi Nyantechi. And you know, there's a trending video. I don't know whether we can play the video to you if we have time. About him saying that to leaders, they'll have their time. And if you
so, you know, it's like a younger you advising
an older you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, I'm not sure this was too long.
No, but I think it will be maybe after 2010, the World Cup. You know, that time you're... Because, you know, he had given indication that he won't stand again and all that. The Ghanaian Observer. FIFA document expose NDC over Nyantechi ban. That's the Ghanaian Observer. It has on the front page that screenshot of the document from FIFA. President Akufo-Addo committed to youth development. Work on Medina footbridges on course. Boniface. He's a member of parliament for the area. Court issues order to protect English among two lands. Back page of the Ghanaian Observer. Ghana football will miss Nyantechi in Tofianko. Yeah, it was the first GFA president who took the Black Stars to our first World Cup. It's true. It's true. Second World Cup. Third World Cup on one. Kwesi Nyantechi, good morning to you wherever you find yourself. Don't mind Ghanaians. That's how they are. Pull him down. Vichai funeral on Saturday in Bangkok. I will try and mention this name. I'm not afraid.
Which one is that?
Vichai Sriva Hanaprabha.
The chairman of Leicester City.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've heard the manager say that, you know, their next game is not about winning, but honoring
him,
the chairman.
I've actually seen the video of the helicopter come down. It's so
somebody
scary.
filmed it.
Yeah, they got it in the stadium. It started from it's rising from the football pitch, going up, then very high up. It started spinning. Then you see it moving down quickly. Then you have people run in the stadium. It's very sad. But we can do the details now.
No, not quite. Let's do the Finder newspaper.
Okay.
Front page of the Finder. Holistic education as a master should be anchored on ethics, morals, and principles, according to President Akufo-Addo. FIFA relied on government information to ban Nyantechi, according to government. Passport forms now free and available online. Ghana secures $60 million IDA credit to create jobs for the poor, and goods found without tax stamp will be seized and destroyed. These are the headlines. The Finder newspaper.
The private individual spearheading the tax stamps is Mama Vio Sabwaji. She's very related to the sectors that are fixing
you
the
just
stamp.
give wrong info on the show. Let's stick to what the papers are saying.
There's this story, HIV story, Roland, very worrying story. You actually read it on the news segment. We are told that infections across the country shot up to 19,101 as of the end of 2017, slightly higher than the 2016 figures of about 16,000. Out of the number, about 3,400 children were infected with the disease, as prevalence among men who slept with their fellow men was at 18%, and female sex workers around 7%.
Okay.
The interesting thing about this is that not too long ago, you know, there was a lot of talk about some improvements in the figures. There was a decline actually, but now we've seen a rise. And I heard the Director General attribute it to, you know, this whole bit about our middle income status and how we lost a lot of the donor support that was coming in. The minister is actually quoted here saying, that is the sanitation minister who represented the president at this program, as he's quoted as saying that government intends to hold the fort, as in providing the funds that we've lost as a result of that status that we've obtained. You also make the point that
the thing is not coming. So if you say we intend to,
it is not. She also says that they are in the process of finalizing a treatment for all policy for HIV patients and working to operationalize a legislative instrument to advance a healthier, responsive environment for affected victims. So the law will ensure that people who test positive are automatically eligible for treatment, while criminalizing issues of stigmatization and discrimination against victims, so that if you are caught, you are made to face the full rigors of the law. Now, and I'm sure anyone who is watching the show now will agree that when I was younger, there were lots of adverts about HIV.
Oh, are you talking to him? You know he wasn't one of those. Do you remember?
No,
some lanky.
I'm sure I'm not started when I was too young when he did that.
Rolla, how long ago was this?
Well, in 2018.
Your young self. Yeah, we're in 2018.
19 years ago.
Okay, so tell us about the campaign, the AIDS campaign.
Well, so they had the Stop AIDS Love Life campaign. It was sponsored by some other partners, but mainly also the USAID, very integral in all this. So there was money devoted for it. So they did a campaign, audiovisual, they did various behavioral change communication, promotionals.
Okay.
I happen to
that
have
is obviously missing these days.
Yes.
Yeah,
because you see, in behavioral change communication, what the various elements in the communication process need is constant reminders in the form of physical materials that they can read, audiovisual reminders, billboards, those kind of things. And then now,
I think we also get tired of campaigns.
And then
No,
but,
we don't.
But
We
that
don't.
is why
We
for
don't.
every campaign activity, there's always, you have to monitor and then you evaluate. Then you have to
Change strategy.
Yes.
Yeah,
as
but
when.
those
So-
adverts back then were not boring at all. I mean,
No, not boring, but if you consistently do the
it
same
was
thing,
such that, in fact,
people will
one
sing along,
image
but it
that
was-
always sticks in my mind. There was this ad that you saw the person grown very lean with lots of sores on the body, and anytime I'm thinking of anything, I always clicks my mind when I think of AIDS.
But that is the problem. So that is why now, if you look at all the behavioral change communication activities that are going on across the world, let's say elsewhere in South Africa, in Uganda as well, they've had the numbers increasing. They've tried to move away from that sort of communication activity, because now the average HIV infected person is not lean. It's
Yeah, but
no more lean, because
I was even talking about
because-
the advantage of how it makes
Yes.
people aware of the situation.
Yes, but I'm saying that,
Those are
for
not the
example, these
signs
days it's more difficult to get pointers
Yeah,
to
such physical
physically
things,
see anybody who is lean and say that
Yeah.
person is HIV. So now, because if you're sick, you get tested,
Yeah.
you quickly would have
Okay,
to.
let's bring the story to you. We'll continue with the papers. One person has sustained serious injuries after police fired gunshots into a passenger bus at Denyame in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, last night. Eyewitnesses say the policeman fired into the passenger vehicle after the driver failed to stop, hitting a passenger in the leg. Erastus Asari Donko is on the beat for us. He joins us. Good morning, Erastus. This all sounds like a movie. Are we talking about Ghana and Kumasi?
Yeah, we're talking about Ghana and Kumasi, and it's quite shocking how the policeman will shoot into a commercial vehicle that is full of people just because the driver tried to move the vehicle when he was asked to stop. And so that's what we are dealing with. It happened around 10 in the evening, and the vehicle was coming in from the Santase roundabout where it had loaded people. And upon reaching the barrier at Denyame, very close to Bekwai roundabout, the police signaled him to stop, according to eyewitnesses. But the driver failed to stop. And so the policeman shot at the passenger side of the vehicle. And if you look at the bullet hole, it's just at the door where the passengers sit, to the entrance of the vehicle. That is where he shot. And the Indian businessman was sitting just behind the driver. And so it caught the right leg, as you can see.
Well, we're not rolling the pictures quite yet. Hopefully we do, so we can better understand the descriptions that you're giving. So where's this policeman who did the firing?
In fact, after yesterday when we got to the scene, they have posted fresh armed police there. They won't allow us to even shoot the vehicle. They said we should take a permit from the police PRO. And so we had to shoot from afar. And so the police at the moment were not giving us any information. So we are yet to get a reaction from the police as to what has happened to this particular police officer.
Erastus, do we have an update on the passenger who also happens to be a foreigner, an Indian businessman?
Yeah, what we are learning from the doctors is that it's a flesh wound. The bullet passed through the leg, very close to the ankle, and it did not touch the bone. In fact, if you look at the X-ray, it missed the bone by inches, and so he will be able to heal in a very short time.
What has happened to the driver?
The driver, I learned, moved the vehicle to the other side and fled, and so currently he's at large.
With the vehicle, or he left the vehicle behind?
The vehicle was at the scene yesterday when I was leaving. He left the vehicle there and fled together with the driver's mate.
Oh, he fled with the mates?
Yes.
Interesting. Rastas, Roland wants to ask something, so please just hold for Roland.
Why would the driver leave? Is it because he was carrying any contraband or?
Well, there is nothing in the vehicle. It's one of the rickety urban trotro vehicles, as you can see. But perhaps my assumption is that perhaps maybe some of these drivers do not have a driver's license, or one document is not good or the other, and so maybe that's the reason why he didn't want to stop and had to run. But as to why the police officer had to shoot through a commercial vehicle full of people, that's another question to answer.
Wow. And we can see the picture. We can see even the vehicle. It's a Nissan Evan bus. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the latest update on this.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the bus there with that's the bullets on the screen, and these things don't happen in Ghana. So
the lower, the level of the bullets.
He was aiming
for
at the tie. Yes, I think that's what Erastus said to us.
But it means that
yesterday.
the policeman needs to go for retraining, because you could have easily killed somebody. It looks like his aim was bad.
And then we've got pictures of the wound as well.
Yeah,
so
there's an Indian man.
This is the man affected. Well, we apologize if
the pictures
this
are
is
gory.
a bit distasteful. It's early morning, but just telling the story of how one man got injured in the process as a policeman fired into a trotro yesterday in Kumasi in the evening, because the driver would not stop when he was asked to. So that's the man who's been injured.
The driver should stop next time. I mean,
yeah.
They should just listen to the police officers. Sometimes.
Not even sometimes, all the time. I mean, if a police officer stops you, you must stop. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's continue with the newspapers. This story about ACP Dr Agordzor, we should talk about it, right?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, so page 3, Daily Graphic newspaper.
I think Mamavi has a concern that...
no, I mean, it's...
he will be haunted, you are saying.
That's what usually happens.
Yes.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen, it's an exception.
Well,
it's supposed to be normal, but
we have police officers who we all know are good, but they are languishing.
Story by Edward Akwa.
They are languishing at places where they should not be.
He says
so
the Ghana Police Service and the other security agencies cannot be professional in their effort to root out the menace of political vigilantism unless the laws that govern the appointment of their leaders and their operations are reformed. According to the Director of Transformation Programs, Office of the Police Service, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Dr. Benjamin Agordzor, provisions in the 1992 Constitution, which gave the President the right to appoint the heads of the various security agencies among their duties, threaten the will of security personnel to be professional in all situations. You're speaking at a symposium organized by the Institute for Democratic Governance in Accra last Wednesday, to discuss ways in which stakeholders could foster efforts to eradicate the menace. Dr. Agordzor said vigilante groups operated confidently because they were backed by political parties, and in quotes, if care is not taken, we will all have rule of political parties instead of rule of law. Right on point, the things he said, really what it is. And I think that all along we've been waiting for this to come from somebody like him.
Yeah, the thing is that, he used to occupy the position of Director of Operations at the police headquarters. Okay. So, we have the Director General in charge of operations, and we have a Director in charge of operations. So, you usually not see him. You will see him on the ground. He will not come on TV and do all the things. So, he, one, has a face-to-face encounter with people who tend to do this, and we should place all this in context. All the top parties we have NDC, MPP, and we have to be realistic in the Foreign Republic. All of them have vigilantes. Now we have the new one for the NDC. They call them the Hawks. You have Azoka, and we have the other ones also for the MPP. The thing is, we all know that even beyond the subject of vigilantism and the way perhaps the politicians don't give the opportunity for the police to treat them, it goes even beyond that to ordinary cases. You have somebody who has flouted a road regulation, and somebody has to call some big person somewhere. And immediately they see the four-wheel drive.
The politicians publicly say that arrest them. When they arrest them, they call them, Charlie, don't you know they are our people?
So he's saying that when they say arrest them, you have to read in between and know that they arrest them doesn't mean that
it's just for show.
Yeah,
it's just for show.
You know, and he's saying the truth. And well, we hope that he won't be victimized, because that is what happens.
If they do, I'll be, even though I have said that, I won't be surprised. But his position is, transformation program. So that's it.
Yeah, yeah. You see, so the politicians need, and the thing is that, and I've said it here before, that we have.
But he makes a point about the appointment of the IGP procedure.
And because I was just about to say, the president appoints the IGP, and even after the appointment of the IGP, the council that will supervise the IGP to work as a police administration is also chaired by a vice president. That's what we have in our constitution, the Fourth Republic.
Who's selected by the president as a running mate prior to the election.
And you have a vice president. He's a running mate in the last election or any other election that got him into office to the president who appointed the IGP. Who the hell are you to say that? So you see that when issues of drugs, the issues of maybe beating of journalists or manhandling, they will just pay the lip service and never do anything concrete.
I think
it doesn't happen in England. It doesn't happen in...
The easy way to make people tough in their positions is to make it such that their positions are actually secured. When they know that they cannot be touched, when you're a vice chancellor somewhere, when you are a president.
I can bet you, the Auditor General, the way he's been talking back like that, if not that because his position is secured, and so even if he has any interference coming in, he can protest.
And we stopped talking about it. Even that, who did they put there as board chair?
The board, who again appointed by the president, right? It's a former Auditor General who is supervising the current Auditor General.
There's this joke a friend of mine says. He says, if you are not careful, they'll find procurement breaches for you.
True. True.
And that's the problem.
You know, you remember the University of Education issue? It started with procurement. They didn't succeed. They went around it. I was just reading again, and I realized that this was not the first time that the Supreme Court was cautioning a decision by the High Court.
There had been one already.
Yeah.
Yesterday evening, I also got to know a lawyer friend of mine who also gave me this WhatsApp link, and then I got to. I said,
no, I think the problem is we don't read, because you remember when Dr. Raymond Atuguba did his write-up, this was all in there. In there.
You see, and
incredible. All the things that he said in that write-up.
The thing is, that all of us are here. We're fairly. I'm fairly old. But all of us are young in a way. We may not know tomorrow where we'll find ourselves within the strata of leadership or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? Yeah. I'm sure Kojo Ponkruma, who is a minister, sees things and sometimes he cringes, wants to do something. But Charlie,
politics is a different ballgame altogether.
Way
it's
too
like
complex.
it blinds you, kind of. Sometimes you see the people there and you're like, and they supervise this. Okay, I don't know if we have a bit of time to do myjoyonline.com. Hopefully we do. So let's do myjoyonline.com real quick. Roland or Kofi?
The village that disappeared from the map. You want to read that on myjoyonline.com. Some more stories. You have followed this 1950s advice for getting a husband. It's also another article on myjoyonline.com. U.S. woman claims she's been pregnant for nearly 4 years.
Yeah?
Yeah. And Game of Thrones star cried twice reading final season. The GOT fans. U.S. midterm elections 2018 poll tracker, who will win the Congress? Republicans or Democrats is what myjoyonline is asking. And more young people getting HIV/AIDS infection is according to the AIDS Commission. And Parliament approves upon Nkrumah 5 others as ministers, also on myjoyonline.com. And the final one here, it says, put your money where your mouth is according to the actress Akofa to Gabi Ochre Dako, who has been very critical of the movie industry. Leila Jansi supports Gabi though.
Yeah,
Says they can't
I'm
do
not
more.
surprised. There are other stories though on my journal.
There's this one. This one is for our benefit, all of us. It's about the free passport. It's been published even by the Finder newspaper. But according to a press release, the passport forms are now free. So you have to just get them online, according to this press release coming from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. So don't go through Goro Boys again. Just visit the portal of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. It's www.mfa.gov.gh or www.passport.mfa.gov.gh. And they are also raising issues about unclaimed passports. So many of us say that we went through the system, our passport we've applied and we haven't gotten. You may be having your own in the lock there, so please make sure that you go.
They're actually saying that if you applied in September, they will put the list of the passport that are ready for collection on the website. 5
years ago.
You are in a different bracket, so you can check online and go for your passport.
I think now they've automated, so that's a good thing.
We have to go now. We will bring you some sports news. There's a young lady, and I hope that the sports team will bring you the story about Simone Biles. And after that, we'll we'll have a conversation on the Right to Information Bill. That bill is in Parliament at the consideration stage, but not so much time is dedicated. You know, the MPs talk about it is after the main business of the House. They dedicate
the bill that has been touted as one that will destroy the governance system.
Yeah, we're talking about it. We have one member of Parliament who's been in the midst of things even at the committee stage. And then we have members of the coalition. We're fighting for this to be passed. They're all in the studio right after sports, so you've got to stay with us. Just before we go, though, happy birthday to Stella and happy birthday to beautiful Serena Comey. You're 10 years today. Enjoy your birthday.